Shout out to Luis Rodriguez for the $9.99 super chat. He says, Motor City Machine Guns. Looks like they're WWE bound. Also, first saw you in Off the Script. Became a fan ever since. Yes, great collaboration with JD from New York. Every time we come together, it seems like we make magic. And, you know, one of the interesting things here is that me and JD don't really see eye to eye 100% of the time with pro wrestling, but nobody will. Everybody has a different opinion, and that's what makes wrestling better. I think there should be a lot of different opinions, and my opinion on tag team wrestling is very consistent, so let's talk about it. The Motor City Machine Guns were not part of the tag team casino gauntlet match for AEW Dynamite. Today, a report came out from PW Nexus. Those guys at PW Nexus have actually been killing it this summer when it comes to wrestling news and scoops, and they dropped an exclusive. And basically, for those who don't know, Motor City Machine Guns are expected to join the WWE. They are expected to debut on WWE NXT on the CW. So October 1st, WWE is taking NXT on the road to Chicago. It's a monumental day for the NXT brand. And a lot of people are talking about this because some people are upset that the Motor City Machine Guns aren't joining AEW. Some people are excited that they are joining WWE. Some people aren't. And look, here's the reality, guys. I'm going to keep it real with you. Okay? WWE, it's on fire. It's absolutely hot. But an area of improvement that they need to make is their tag team division. Okay? AEW, not necessarily hot. Not a lot of momentum for the company, but they're improving. They're getting better this year. The problem with AEW right now is their tag team division literally lacks vision. Just like the WWE main roster. It lacks vision. And the Motor City Machine Guns going to NXT is actually really important because WWE NXT is very clearly no longer a developmental brand. Don't get it twisted. They are developing talent in NXT, but I think it has become very apparent that this version of NXT going into the CW, this brand will be treated as the third brand. And I think that's a good thing for WWE NXT. And more importantly, I think it's a good thing for Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin because quite frankly, they're going to go in there and have a absolutely incredible match with Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Okay? And the good thing is Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley should be able to become part of the future of NXT on the CW. And then when WWE is ready, they should have them called up to the main roster. Now let's just be real honest here. Let's be real honest here. We got to take a look at this, by the way. Let's take a look. Let me just remind you guys what WWE has been doing lately. This appears to be some of the key signings this year for WWE. And more specifically, everybody outside of Penta and Phoenix seem to be going to NXT. WWE is making a splash in free agency. Okay? Julia joins NXT. Great. Stephanie Vaquer doesn't go to AEW. Goes to WWE NXT. Delta Brady coming to NXT. Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin coming to WWE NXT. We don't know for sure if Rey Fenix and Pentagon are going to NXT or to the main roster, but it seems like a foregone conclusion that they are headed to WWE. Okay? AEW has made a ton of waves with the people that they're signing, and that's great. I'm excited about that. I'm excited that AEW was able to bring in some big free agents. The problem is, you bring in big free agents, you got to do something with them. You got to make them feel important. Jade Cargill came into the WWE and immediately felt important. Okay? Ethan Page comes into NXT and immediately feels important. WWE has a good track record of this right now. A lot of their signings have become must-see on their television show. And so for me, I get excited about Motor City Machine Guns coming into WWE NXT, and I think it's the right decision for them to come to WWE NXT, largely due to the fact that they will be treated as a big deal in WWE NXT. And some of you might say this. You guys might say, well, Ango, why don't you think AEW will make them feel important? Look at the grizzled young veterans as a perfect example. Yes, they're starting to cook a feud with FTR in AEW. But I can name a lot of other things that feel much more important than the grizzled young veterans in AEW. And I feel like with WWE, when they bring in these free agents, what they've done a really good job with is branding them, giving them music that is actually good, giving them the presentation that is actually good, putting them in a feud that is actually good. It just seems like I can trust WWE a little bit more. And more specifically, I could trust Shawn Michaels a little bit more bringing in Motor City Machine Guns. And don't get it twisted. WWE has some work to do with their tag team division for sure. But all these signings that they've been bringing in, they're treated with a big deal. Stephanie Vaquer got signed and they immediately put her on a house show and they shouted it out on Raw. They put her on the video package. WWE NXT on the CW, it's going to come across as a very big deal. But now I want to talk a little bit about the NXT roster. Because, yes, there are people there that are developing, but we just saw the bloodline in NXT. Okay? Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa. You guys telling me you wouldn't get excited about GOD versus Motor City Machine Guns? That excites me. For sure it excites me. Okay, but there's more. And I'm going to pull up. You got Andre Chase. And Chase U. You have Bronco Nima and Lucien Price. You got Gallus. You got
Tony Brown super chatted $5. Ango Guilia is a dime.
I heard that super chat. I will get to it in a second. But yeah, I mean, look at this. They got all these teams, bro. They got a lot of teams. Hank and Tank. Can't forget about Tyreek Igwe and Tyson DuPont. Not to mention TNA's working with the Rascals. Or NXT's working with TNA and they got the Rascals, right? This is what WWE has been doing. They got the teams in NXT to build off of. A lot of young guys, too, could learn from watching and working with the Motor City Machine Guns. Hopefully, in the meantime, what ends up happening is the main roster also works on their tag team division. So that way, when Motor City Machine Guns are brought in, it all goes extremely well, and you could do those other feuds.